All right. Welcome to Thorn's Jungle. Now, we're doing something a little bit different this time. We've decided going to mix it up a little bit, try something new, and if it goes well, it might become a more frequent thing. We're hoping to do this once a month, but this is an animal quiz episode of Thorn's Jungle, where my brother Scott is going to be the quizmaster general and see what my animal knowledge is. And Scott, do you want to explain the point system and things like that?
Okay, so the way this is going to work, so I've been tasked with coming up a quiz here, and today's quiz is going to be animal connections quiz, right? So kind of weird ways that animals are connected that you might not expect. So it's interesting facts. We're not talking about whatever. So we've got 5 questions. So there's pairs of animals. How are they connected? 5 questions. And we're going to have 4 points up for grabs for each question, I guess. And I have 3 hints for each one, so if you need them, right? So if you get it straight off the bat, you're going to get 4 points. With each hint that you need, you're going to take off a point, right? So
Yep.
3 if you get 1 hint, 2 if you get... So eventually, you'll either get 0, 1, 2, 3, or 4 for each question, maximum 20 points. It should be as simple as that.
Yeah. So I mean, essentially, total, there's going to be 20 points
20 points, 5 questions, yes.
out of 5 questions, and each time I ask Scott for a clue or a hint, I'll be deducted a point. So
An eligible point.
right, yeah.
And it's a clunky quiz, you know. I don't know how to write quizzes. I'm no real quiz master, but we'll see how this goes, I think.
Well, I mean, it's the first time we're doing this, so hey, if there's creases that need ironed out, give us some, bit of room here. We're just getting adjusted and fucking. It's our first time, all right?
Yeah, we'll see how this goes. So I don't know. Do you want to get right into it?
I'm hell keen to see, because I don't know any of these questions. All right, I haven't seen them. Scott hasn't told me anything about them. He's just told me the theme is animal connections, how some animals connect with others, which can be pretty ambiguous. But like you said,
But also for the folks at home, writing an animal quiz for Adam Thorn is pretty difficult. So I went down rabbit holes. I learned way more than I ever thought I would learn about a lot of these animals.
good.
And then trying to put them together into, all right, this kind of makes sense. So there's going to be better quizzes in the future once we iron this out, because I don't want to give you things that are just too ridiculous, just some fact that I've stumbled across on the internet somewhere. And I also don't want to give you like some low hanging fruit that anybody can get, right?
Right, and I don't want you to. I honestly, I think it's great if I get the answers wrong, because then I'll learn something, and you guys listening or watching at home will learn something. And also, I will have to say, there is no such thing as an animal expert, okay? It's way too generalized. Like, animals is huge. You cannot be an expert in animals, okay? A real expert is somebody that's, for example, studies the diet of a specific type of fruit fly in a certain locality.
I reckon they eat fruit.
Hey, you might be surprised.
Yeah.
You
All
might
right.
be surprised.
I'm going to have to research it for the next quiz.
No, I don't like fruit flies. Yeah.
Okay.
They don't live long enough to search for them.
Oh, I got issues with my
To
headphones
research
going
them.
on here.
All right,
Right.
let's see this first question. All right, put me
Okay.
out of my misery. I'm
You're going to
nervous.
start the first one? So with this quiz, I tried to sort of theme it where we start with Australia, we kind of end with Australia, whatever. That's not going to give you any hints of what kind of questions I've got, but it's animal connections. So we're trying to think of something that's a little out of the ordinary that connects these two animals. And this one, I'm going to start with like probably the hardest, because I found this fascinating when I was researching it, right?
Yep.
So here's the connection. Some species, not all, but some species of Australian sea snake. One example is the olive sea snake.
Yep.
How are they connected to a desert scorpion? And like I said, there are other scorpions that have this quality as well. But just as an example, a desert scorpion and some Australian sea snakes.
Is it the fact that they both have neurotoxic venom?
No,
Okay.
that's not what I'm looking for. So when it comes to what we're looking for, there's general things that are definitely going to work. You can't say things like, oh, well, they exist on Earth. It's a bit too general. There's something particular I'm looking for, and that's where the hints come in.
Okay.
But Australian sea snakes, desert scorpion. I've also got a little soundboard here, and you made one guess, so a little buzz there.
Okay. Is it specifically? Because I mean, olive sea snakes aren't restricted to Australia, but
Okay, like I'm also not an expert, but apparently this particular quality, from what I researched, was just some Australian sea snakes
okay.
and the desert scorpion.
Okay.
And I've got 3 hints here if you need them.
Man. Okay.
But you're going to be losing points already.
There are a lot that they can have in common.
Yes.
Okay. Jeez.
Well, not amount of legs. That's
Yeah.
definitely not in common.
Yeah, we could rule legs out.
0 to 8.
Damn, because I know there is a connection between like the Malaysian blue coral snake and scorpions, and it's like I can't. But again, it's something to do with their venom or venom glands.
This has nothing to do with venom.
Okay.
Nothing.
Shit, because that's like the main thing you would associate them with.
Yeah.
Jeez, that's a tough one. They're so different.
I came out of the gate pretty hot with this one.
Holy shit.
This is actually the one that I started the whole idea of the connections quiz with, because it was something I did not know about a scorpion, something I did not know about these sea snakes.
Okay.
And we talk animals a lot, so it's a weird one.
Yeah, but they have that one thing in common. All right, I'm gonna need a clue.
Right. The first clue, it's to do with their tails.
Oh, yeah. So again, that's what Malaysian blue coral snakes do. Is they try and stab you with their tail.
It's nothing to do with venom.
No. Although there's no
tails.
venom in it, but I know the Malaysian blue coral snake had a pointy tip on its tail and was. You remember when we found it in Borneo? I remember it was trying to stab me in the hand with it.
Yes. That coral snake there.
Yeah. Remember?
I was looking at its head.
Well, yeah.
I didn't take it much. I didn't pay much attention to its tail.
Well,
to be honest, I was too scared.
Well, I was holding its tail, so it was fucking stabbing me.
I do remember.
Yeah.
I got the shot of it. It was curling itself into you. Oh.
Digging into my hand.
Could it have done damage if it did?
It did. It didn't do damage, but it pricked me a few times. But no venom or anything like that. But
it could have.
Yeah.
We kind of didn't know how much danger we were in that scenario.
No, we didn't. That was a fucking scary moment.
Yeah.
Because I thought it bit me.
That's Malaysia. We're talking about Australian sea snakes.
Yeah, but wait, what was the clue again?
It's to do with their tails.
Okay, well, sea snakes have paddle-like tails, so they can't.
You got to think way more biological.
Oh, the segments in the tail.
More, it's.
Oh,
I got to give you hint number 2.
Is it the fact that the tails, the direction they can move in?
Nope.
Oh, jeez.
It's used to detect something.
Oh, okay. Is there...
The tails can detect
right.
something.
Yeah, okay.
Is very surprising.
So they've got is it lateral lines or ampullae Lorenzini in them?
What would that detect?
Electromagnetic things and vibrations too with the lateral line. Pressure as well. Oh, chemoreceptors, which detect chemical things like in the air.
I should have done more research to say what it actually is, because you're hitting me with a lot of scientific language. I can hit you with a third one.
Yeah, fuck. I'm gonna need it because it's.
So, the hint so far was it's something to do with their tails.
Yep.
It's used to detect something.
Yep.
Something that usually eyes do.
Oh, it's got photoreceptors on there. Ah, really?
Yes.
See,
you get 1 point for that. You got 3 hits.
Well, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, but
they could detect light with their tails.
I never knew. I knew scorpions. They had photoreceptive cells. I didn't know it was on their tails, but that makes sense. And Shit, I didn't know fucking
and
sea
it's
snakes
actually
had-
crazy. Like from what I looked at, like some of the experiments with it, they're literally like blindfolding scorpions, but they're still able to detect light. So it's
Right.
their tails that are detecting light, and some Australian sea snakes, like the olive
That's
sea snake.
sick. See, I didn't know that. That is awesome.
I came out hot. I'm hoping you know the other ones.
Yeah, so am I. Because like it's
There's
yeah.
only 1 point. I wrote a big 1 on my page. I should have just done a tally. We're gonna have to cross that out every time.
Man, that's actually mind blowing. That's really cool. See, I learned something.
Yeah,
I learned something.
And so also, you've had some experience with those scorpions.
Yeah, shit, yeah.
Hell yeah,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So some of that experience with your scorpions is going to play into the next question.
Right.
I know you've been stung by them. I know you know what it feels like, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And I also know you had to go track them down and find them.
Yeah.
Right? So
Yep.
the next question.
Okay.
So we leap from one animal to the next. So I'm going to piggyback off the desert scorpion.
Yeah.
What is a desert scorpion? This is question 2, by the way. All right, question 2. I've got to do one of these sound effects. I should have done one for the first one. The still looks a bit loud on here, so I'm going to turn that one down for the future. Anyway, the desert scorpion. What does it have in common with the platypus?
Desert scorpion. What does it have in common with the platypus? I mean, there's a lot. Like,
I don't think there's a lot at all. They're very, very different animals.
but platypus.
Oh, there's obvious.
I know. They are biofluorescent.
They are let me hit this bell.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, the wrong bell. Oh, wait, wrong number. There we go.
You got it?
I hit it a few times to make up for the other
All right,
buttons that I
good.
accidentally pressed that were a mistake. But yes, they are
Yes,
biofluorescent.
that's great. And which is only recently been discovered that platypus biofluoresce under UV light, under the black lights, whatever it is. That's pretty trippy. Like, so if you put a black light on with a certain,
Yeah, so
spectrum,
UV light.
they glow in the dark. They fluoresce. It's
Yeah,
sick.
so I guess we should explain the difference between bioluminescence.
Yeah.
So bioluminescence, they're kind of creating their own light, so they're
Right.
emitting photons.
Yes.
But biofluorescence is they're taking UV light and putting it into a different spectrum.
Right, yeah, they're refracting it differently. See,
Yes.
this is why I got Scott to be the quizmaster on the show, because he will ask questions like this, and he's fucking smart. So that's why he is the quiz guy.
Getting dumber with every sip, but whatever.
Actually, let me crack a can of V to celebrate.
Yeah.
Celebrate.
No, you got that without any hints. I had some hints for this.
What was the hints?
Oh, just pretty dumb hints to do with the way they were seen.
Ah.
Kind of really only witnessed at night for humans.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because it's only at night time. If you've got a UV light out during the day, you're not going to see them
No.
because all the other colors of the spectrum are being radiated anyway. But at nighttime. So is that how you found the desert scorpions?
It's almost essential way to find scorpions is using the UV, the black lights, because you will never see them, and they literally you can see them from meters away because they just glowing.
With those two questions, the fact that their their tails detect light
Yeah,
and they manipulate light with all the other cells of their exoskeleton, really.
yep.
They got a very weird relationship with light. I'd like to see what the hell a scorpion sees, right?
Man,
Are they like spiders? Do they have like 4 million eyes?
yeah, they've got a lot, not 4 million, but they got a shitload, and their eyes are like, they do different things. Like their eyes, they have like super primitive eyes, which are pretty much the photosensitive cells. I mean, that's how eyes started. Before there was complex eyes, there were certain fish and things like that just had things that can detect light. So literally, if a predator swam over the top of them, it'll notice a shadow kind of deal.
Exactly.
And
More
then
light, less light. That's all they could tell.
Exactly. Yeah. And the scorpions still have them on their tails, which is fucking crazy as well, which is really cool. But I don't know how complex their eyes are. I don't think they're that great, but they're decent for movement, that's for sure.
Yeah. I mean, it's interesting to sort of think about why that would be the case, that they had it. I mean, if their eyes are now occupied doing other things during the day,
Yeah.
detecting the shadows with their tails because they're like, what's a big predator of a scorpion?
Everything eats scorpions.
But it's
loads.
some aerial attacks.
Oh,
right?
for sure. Well, I mean, because they're so low to the floor and small, everything's really an aerial attack. Like
Yeah.
something like a meerkat or something eats a scorpion.
Which is
It's
gonna
coming from
shadow-
above,
yeah.
right? Yeah.
That makes
And
sense.
scorpions don't stand there with their tails up, hooked over, and they don't walk like that. They walk with their tails flat and straight.
To detect more light, maybe.
Well, exactly, and yeah, more surface area when it's spread out and flat, and obviously it's easier to walk and it's less damage to their tail. And when they sleep, their tail's like flat on the ground, is sort of coiled around. Again, surface area, increasing surface area. So really, the majority of their time, their tails aren't up like that. That's a defense thing and hunting thing once they've grabbed something. So obviously when they've grabbed a hold of something, they don't really, their mind ain't, or whatever mind they have.
So is it worth, it's speculating on why the hell is a platypus biofluorescent?
No idea. No
'Cause
idea.
It's kind of a recent discovery. We haven't had time to really think about it. And
Nah. Yeah, I don't know. And there's a few animals like that, and it's one of those things. Like, yeah, we know scorpions do it, but like, nobody goes up to every animal they find and see if it biofluoresces. Well, why would you? You, especially a fucking mammal.
yeah,
Why would you? Why would it?
what do they call it?
Monotremes.
Monotremes.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, so they're in the class Mammalia, so they are mammals, but they're in a real primitive order of mammals called monotremes. So they are a mammal
So-
that lays eggs.
Just as far as this animal connections thing goes, because like I said, don't want it to be broad. It's actually very particular. It's a very strange thing, right?
Right.
But mammals, how do you define a mammal? Is what, warm-blooded with lungs
Yeah,
and a spine?
yeah. So
Is that kind of it?
yeah, I mean, but that can describe animals that aren't mammals as well. But realistically,
I know there's
it's,
some warm-blooded.
I mean, birds are
lizards out
warm-blooded
there.
and stuff, and
Yes.
yeah, there's
okay.
there's
So and they
endothermic.
have lungs. Yeah. Right.
Yeah, but like generally, yeah, it's it's vertebrate. Well, it
Yep.
is. It's essential. It's a vertebrate. It's in phylum Chordata, chord, backbone. Obviously, it has to be an animal, but mammals generally have hair. Even if it doesn't have hair, so to speak, like a pangolin, it's scales. It's still hair. It's keratin.
Yeah,
Same
it's
as
keratin, yeah.
an echidna and stuff like that.
And fingernails.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it has to be able to sexually reproduce like all animals, covered in fur, vertebrate, warm-blooded, and that's the physiological sort of aspect of it. But then you look into like the phylogenetics.
I know some humans that don't fit that category. Warm-blooded. I know some cold-ass people out there.
Oh yeah, yeah. And look at the difference between hair coverage of you and I. I mean, what the fuck happened to me? I got some sort of werewolf curse.
Yeah, I don't know what
It's-
happened there.
It's fucking ridiculous. But yeah, that
Does it
generally,
grow faster in a full moon?
I notice it doesn't grow faster. It just like it stands
Stands
on
up
its
a bit.
ends and gets a bit more buffier, and I start getting a bit.
You need a good bloody
Ravenous.
steak that night.
Oh fuck yeah!
All
Raw.
right, question 3. I think I got question 3. Here we go. All right, moving on from the platypus.
Okay. All right.
What does the platypus have in common with a gorilla?
Oh shit! Fuck.
The platypus and gorilla.
Okay.
I'm going all over the map with this quiz.
I know.
It's got to be clunky, folks. I'm sorry, but like, I think it's an interesting quiz.
Super interesting. A platypus and a gorilla.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me think.
And you can't just say they're
They're mammals.
That's what I was trying to prime. You can't just say that.
Okay. I'm just trying to like think of like everything's running through my head at the moment, like the behavior of platypus, what it eats, it's like what it looks like physically.
Well, as a bonus thing, it is not so much behavioral, but it is a thing that's not really completely biological this time.
Okay. Okay, shit.
And I have clues.
Yeah,
Wait. So I've got to update my tally. You
yeah.
got full 4 points for the last
Like
one.
I did, yeah. So what? I'm at 5.
You're up to 5.
Yeah, 5 out of 10. That's a 50%
No,
score.
5 out of 8.
Oh yeah, true.
5 out of
Yeah.
8. It's good. It's good. That first one was like kind of crazy hard. I don't think anyone would have got that.
Yeah.
If anyone asked what a desert scorpion and a bloody sea snake has in common, no one's going to come up with, oh shit, their tails detect light. No one's going to go over that. So I softened it from here in. From there in, I should say.
Yeah, but now I have to find some sort of correlation between a platypus and a bloody gorilla.
Yeah.
So,
See, this is one that I tried to mask because if I used another animal instead of gorilla as the example, you would have got it because we discussed it kind of recently.
okay.
God, that might be a clue, but I don't think you remember our conversations.
My memory ain't that fucking good, that's for sure.
Oh, we have too many conversations.
Yeah. Jesus. This is crazy. And as well, if I could sit and think about it for 10 minutes, I'd probably realize the answer, but that would be a pretty boring podcast, me sitting, scratching my head for 10 minutes. I'm going to need a clue.
Okay. Well, the clues here, I don't know which is the best one to give you. Here's one clue. I said it was going to be the first one because it's a dumb clue that's not really going to help you that much. It's only useful on land. So that really only applies to the platypus. It's only useful to the platypus on land. Gorillas rarely go in the water.
No.
And even if they did, it's not going to be useful in the water. So something that's useful to them on land.
Something useful to them on land.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, it's not the knuckle walking thing, is it?
It's the bloody knuckle walking thing.
Is that right or wrong?
It's the bloody knuckle walking thing. They knuckle walk.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
The next clue was going to be part of the answer may be offered in a sandwich to an enemy.
A knuckle sandwich. That's a old school threat, eh? Want a knuckle sandwich? Fuck.
But they knuckle walk to protect their webbing.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, that does make sense. But you know what?
We talked about the giant anteater.
Yeah,
and you were like, well, they kind of wrist walk. And then you research it, you're like, the fucking only the giant ones actually knuckle walk.
Yeah,
right?
things like anteaters like Tamandua walk on their wrists more, but the giant anteater does knuckle walk. Fuck yeah! I mean, you wouldn't think a platypus would even have knuckles. And I will be completely.
And to be honest, I don't think I've seen a platypus really walking that much.
Who does? Who sees them wandering around on land
and notices that they've tucked their webbing in and it's just like gone full ape on us.
And to be honest, that was a guess. Because I remembered our conversation, and it was
I gave the hint.
Yeah. So
the knuckle sandwich hint would have got it though.
That would have got it, yeah. But because to be honest, like looking back in my archival memory of animals, like I wouldn't be able to tell you how a platypus walked on land. I wouldn't.
You just think it would just be like a normal.
You think just waddle kind of deal,
like a salamander or something.
Yeah.
All
and
right,
that brings us to the next question.
You get 3 of that, so
salamander.
that's 8.
All right.
You got 8 out of a possible 12 so far. I think it's not bad.
Yeah, it's all right.
66%.
I'm happy with that.
Math is correct. It rarely is.
We'll check that.
We'll check that. We'll pay the math budget.
Yeah, don't ask me about fucking maths.
We won't though. And hopefully at some point there's some pictures of it. I might be wrong with this, by the way, but
I'll be looking into it.
I know. And if I am wrong, I'll give you all the points in the world. We'll get some bonus points.
But things like that are pretty like for example, you're not gonna read. Something about the scorpion tail having those like photo cells on them, and then read a study that says they completely don't. So it's
if they
pretty
find
confirmed.
them, they very rarely unfind them.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
it turns out it's not at all. And it's like, well, that's polar opposites.
That's a good point. Well, fingers crossed I got that one right.
Yeah, I think you're safe.
All right, you ready for question 4? Hit a little low sound effect there. We got to hit it one more time. Question 4. It's a terrible sound effect. All right, let's have a page here. All right, so talking about the gorilla.
All right.
And I don't even know if you know what this animal is, but I'm hoping you do. I'm trying to make it hard.
It would
a
help.
little bit hard for this one to be. Yeah. The gorilla. What does the gorilla have in common with the opossum?
Oh, okay.
You know the opossum?
Yeah, sure.
South
sure.
American.
Yeah, it's a marsupial in and they're found in North America too.
Okay.
So that's the question between a
gorilla and an opossum. Yeah.
Okay, now opossums, they just call them possums in America, right? As well. Just FYI. They play dead, but gorillas don't.
No, why would they? They'll just beat you up.
Exactly. They'll make you dead, and you won't be playing.
Do gorillas have any predators? Or are they apex in their environment?
I mean, they're not apex because they're not predators, but they're as hot.
No, but
like
as so far as they don't have to worry about shit when they go to the drinking hole.
Nah, not really. They're found in forests, and animals like lions and stuff are more savanna, grassland area. Yeah. But I do believe leopards will take younger ones.
Okay.
In certain forests.
That's a ballsy leopard.
Fuck yeah, it is. I mean, the silverback got a hold of that leopard, it'll just skin it alive.
Yeah. Just pop it apart.
Yeah. Hey, there's
like a piece of Lego.
There's a million ways to skin a leopard.
Yeah.
But no, apart from that, nothing's fucking with them apart from humans every now and
again. I feel like too many leopards have been skinned and just sold to MILFs and cougars.
Oh, for sure.
They love leopard skin. I don't know what's up with that.
Yeah, I don't know what it is.
You get to a certain age and leopard skin is everything.
Yeah, it becomes it's like, oh yeah, they're in the leopard print phase.
Yeah, and they never grow out of it. It's weird. They get into around their mid-40s and just stick with it.
Go down to the Mustang Bar in Northridge.
Yep.
Yeah.
Gorilla opossum.
Fucking hell. You can't get two animals in these quizzes that are like further apart, eh? Like
I try to make it weird.
Okay.
It's an ultimate animal quiz. Here, I've got some music for the ultimate animal quiz.
Fuck. I mean, is it like? I mean, is it? The only thing I don't know.
I got hints.
Well, I'm not going to ask you yet, but I just want to ask you, like, generically, or generally, mind you. I don't know. Do I need to know a lot about opossums to get this question?
Well, you need to know this one thing. Not a lot. You don't need to know about their diet. You don't need to know about that. That's still a hint. But hints aren't really... It's not about something. Hints should be it's about this.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's nothing to do with diet.
Yeah.
Obviously nothing to do with habitat.
Is it something to do with their milk?
No. Wait, I got a little button here. There we go.
Because opossums are mammals, they're also marsupials. So they have a pouch. Oh, I know. The babies cling to the back of it.
No, that's not what I had down, but that's a very good one. So I'm going to give you a ding for it. But there we go. There's another ding here. Do we like the bell? There's a little bell.
Oh, is it? This is my guess, right? Actually, but they have prehensile tails. And they can grip to stuff, and they can hang from trees with it.
Yeah. Get rid of the tail part, and you're on the right track.
Oh, they have opposable thumbs, which they...
Yeah. Yes. Many dings now. Oh, no, I pressed the wrong button. I keep pressing the X when it's a tick. This thing's in the fucking way. Yeah, they have an opposable first toe.
First toe, yeah. Which is it's called a opposable hallux. That's what it's called. Yeah.
So my hints would have been who doesn't like hanging out.
Yeah.
Right? And then get a grip. Sometimes opposition is good.
Oh, that's
right?
good. That's good.
Okay.
Yeah,
So you got the full points for that one. That brings you to
good.
12.
yeah.
Oh, and I wrote 14 for some reason. Yeah, I don't know. Not fit for this quizmaster sort of duties.
Yeah. So I mean, gorillas have like their big toes are divergent big toes, and they're opposable as well, and they have
Yeah.
it's like big toes there.
But as far as that
hallux.
opposable first toe, it's primates and opossums.
Yeah.
From what I could research,
Yeah,
they're the only
that's
ones
right.
that have that. There's other things that have opposable, like koalas have opposable
Yeah.
thumb.
People at home, Google. I'll chuck it up for people watching as well. Look at a koala's hand. It is insane. The eyes is even weirder. It's like got this long. An eye is a type of lemur found in Madagascar. It's got this long, gross finger that like taps on trees and stuff to see if it's hollow, to see if there's grubs in there. And then it's got
And
this
they can't
like
just like knock, knock, knock like we do on a door.
it's the creepiest thing ever. They got so picture a normal hand, then this stupidly long, like thin as all hell, like finger that comes out like a spider leg, and it's just like tapping. It's freaky as all hell. But they got grooming claws like.
I'd like to have shoehorn hands.
Yeah. Good Seinfeld reference.
All right, we ready for the final question?
Jeez, yeah.
Final question. Here we're gonna play this music. Final question. Animal connections. All right.
Round 5. Finish him.
This one's easy because you've already said the answer to a couple of times. I keep getting hints. I'm very liberal with my hints.
Yeah, but it doesn't help that I like when I make guesses and stuff like that.
Yeah, I
Like
know,
it's
but I should not bring up those guesses as hints.
oh yeah,
Right?
sure. Well, if it's any,
I should give you the old, you're crazy, get out of here.
yeah.
The opossum thylacine. For those who don't know the thylacine, the
right.
Tasmanian tiger went extinct more recently than we would have hoped.
Yeah, allegedly.
Not as in it would have gone. Yeah. Well, we could talk about that. But an opossum and a thylacine.
Both marsupials.
That's
Have
exactly
pouches.
it. That's
yeah.
exactly it. Got in. Well, let's give you.
But what
I
I
hit the right one this
what I
time.
don't know is, which is interesting, the thylacine's pouch is backwards.
Goes backwards.
So when it's digging, it's
That's
dancing.
one of my clues was some go forward, some go backwards.
Yeah. So it doesn't fill up with sand when it's digging its burrows and stuff.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
I did a bit of a deep dive into the anatomy of the thylacine, and it seems like it can like sort of pronate and twist its arms a lot more than the canines were, right?
Well, yeah, because they're not a canid at all.
Yeah, so they were trying to understand how it hunted and if it was competing with dingoes,
Yeah.
which hunt in a certain way, the way dogs do, where they kind of just have more stamina
Yep.
for a lot of it.
They hunt in packs as well.
Yeah, so if this was like an ambush predator, rather whatever, we don't really know. But they like as far as their bone structure goes, they align more with cats, and I guess that's why we call them a tiger.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
they and because of their tail,
Well, and the tiger stripes down
because
its back is a big one.
they're a marsupial, so they've got this tail that they could use to balance on their hind legs.
Yeah,
And there is footage of a thylacine standing on its back leg.
Yeah. It's
pretty fascinating.
And thylacines, if you look at a thylacine with kangaroo in mind, you will see it. It's got super low hocks on its back legs. So its back legs are like, if you look at a dog that's got real high hocks, so it's where their back legs bend down to their like ankles and feet. Dogs have really high ones. Thylacines are like really low, so they got like sort of low, stocky legs, and it would absolutely make sense that their front legs would act more like a kangaroo's in sense, which have more like maneuverability, like.
Some of the footage of the the last thylacine in captivity or whatever. What was his name?
Ben.
Yeah. All right. Very fitting.
Hobart Zoo.
Yeah. I was creeped out by how wide it could open its jaw.
Over 80 degrees, they can open their jaws.
That's amazing.
Yeah. All right, we're back. The whole recording thing crashed and was not responding. So yeah, we could have lost everything, but
we got it back.
we got it back.
All
so
right. So
yeah, crisis averted.
gave me a chance to open another beer. That's fine. I might have done it myself and blamed it on the computer.
Yeah, it's,
Some of us need a drink every now and then.
I got a creaky neck.
So from what we could see, from what was recovered, we were just talking about the bloody thylacine and how wide it can open its mouth.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say actually. Although it had like those jaws that are pretty damn menacing when they open up like that, they reckon that they had, unlike the Tasmanian devil, they had a pretty weak bite. Like compared to something like the Tasmanian devil, which pound for pound.
Is that just like leverage over distance? Like because it's so long and the same muscles.
No,
if
because
you put those same muscles on a short jaw, it's very powerful. Like a human's jaw is pretty powerful,
Yeah,
right? Because it's a very small.
Yeah, but in saying that,
snout.
The saltwater crocodile has the most powerful bite in the animal kingdom, and it's long as all fuck.
You got to save that trivia for the next quiz, man.
Yeah, but the Tasmanian devil, pound for pound, probably has the strongest bite out of any animal for its size. But the thylacine's like mouth was typically used just for catching prey, opening so wide. Once it gets over something like a betong or small macropod, like it's got a hold of it. It doesn't need the strong jaws because it's like a gharial, which is like that crocodilian with a super long snout. It's just used to trap the animal rather than just like outright crush it.
Yeah. The thing that fascinated me about the thylacine, and it's kind of the theme of this whole quiz in general, is the idea of convergent evolution, right?
Yeah.
It's like, obviously, the light detecting tails, like, how did you guys discover this? Completely independent, right?
Crazy.
And so with thylacines, they look so dog-like.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's another name for him, is a Tasmanian wolf.
And it's crazy. So there's these theories out there that, like, well, there are successful, basically, body archetypes. There's successful archetypes that will fill a niche in an environment, right?
Yeah.
And so the dog shape, this marsupial, this random marsupial, because there were no dogs, but there was a gap in sort of the ecosystem for a dog-shaped creature to sort of fill that niche, it converged on what other canines around the world looked like.
Yeah, well...
And hunted like, and whatever for it, right?
Yeah, so convergent evolution is like, under the same environmental pressures and things like that, they will evolve similar adaptations, similar physiology, similar... like loads of things,
like dolphins looking similar to sharks.
Yeah,
with body. It's just because the environment kind of dictates what a successful creature would look like in order to be successful in that environment, right?
Yeah. So an animal, people across the world that have never come in contact with each other, if they've got a problem, they will develop the same things to get over that problem.
Yeah.
There's spearheads found in North America. There's spearheads found in Africa. It's like the same. They have the same solution to the same problem. They come up with it.
Earlier, there's only so many ways to skin a cat or a leopard or whatever, but there is a finite amount of ways to solve a problem. Evolutionarily speaking,
for sure.
That there's a couple of very good ways to do it, and those are the ones that are going to be. And so, my question is with this, because like as you can tell with the whole quiz, I kind of started with Australian animals. I came back to Australian animals, went away again, and then came back again.
Yeah.
Because if that's true, that there are niches in nature, let's say, just environmentally, there's niches that are filled by a certain archetypal type of animal, one that resembles a dog or a cat-like predator or even down to snakes and whatever, right?
Yeah.
Which seems to be pervasive worldwide, is those kind of archetypes, right?
Yeah.
Why is there no other country really on the planet that has a niche for a kangaroo-shaped thing?
Well, the niche...
Because they're fucking weird.
Yeah, I mean, the niche... So there's no real, it needs to that body type, so to speak. The niche isn't necessarily... It's more coincidental that the niche is filled by an animal that looks like... For example... deer fill the niche of kangaroos and vice versa.
Oh, okay. All right.
So they don't necessarily have to look like the animal to fill
Okay.
that particular niche.
All right. Yeah.
Yeah.
That does make sense. Because the question I was really trying to allude to was the size and the strength of a kangaroo.
Yeah.
And its ability to sort of, I don't want to say defend itself, but actually not really be like a deer jumping away or
They're only that muscular for each other, realistically, too.
So is that because there is no sort of large mammal predator on the Australian mainland?
Yes.
Is it the absence of predators that also led to the kangaroo's success? Because that creature blows my mind because that's so fucking weird.
To a certain degree, yes, but it wasn't that long ago where there was massive predators on land in Australia, and it wasn't that long ago.
What were they?
So you had Megalania, which was a monitor lizard, a goanna, that was like 7 meters long, 23 feet. You had Thylacoleo, which was the marsupial lion. Weirdest animal. You look at its skull, its teeth are like blades, like solid shearing blades, and they reckon they were used to basically bite the head off its prey, like straight off.
Is this like megafauna?
Yeah. Well, I mean, technically megafauna is any animal. Like, there's still megafauna exists now. It's just basically any animal that's over like 20 kilos is classified as megafauna. But like Pleistocene megafauna, sort of like late Ice Age megafauna, really only went extinct like 10,000 years ago, or if you're a woolly mammoth, 4,000 years ago on certain islands.
Yeah.
But like geologically speaking, that's not a lot of time. Like they went extinct yesterday, realistically, and so kangaroos were being hunted by large predators for the last 10, 20,000 years. Well,
so we're giving them a bit of a free ride nowadays.
Well, it was more of like, if the megafauna didn't die out, there would still be kangaroos, right? They wouldn't like that. That's how ecosystems work. But what happens is the larger, like Thylacoleo probably went extinct because there were like recent, it could be a bunch of things. The natives in that specific area could have overhunted things. Environmental pressures from like introduced things like dingoes weren't. I mean, dingoes they reckon didn't really compete with thylacine because they reckon thylacine ate more smaller prey than the dingoes. Dingoes could take down bigger prey, but they would have absolutely competed in some way with them because a dingo's not going to turn down a potteroo or something like that, a small macropod.
Yeah.
And thylacine was already...
I don't turn down cheesels if I've got a steak coming,
No, exactly.
It doesn't really matter.
No. And thylacine was already low in numbers. It was never a super high population animal. So it was already like... And Australian animals are pretty specialized animals in general. So it was already kind of like a fragile animal, even without the introduction to anything. So they reckon like, certain little tweaks to the environment just was the straw that broke the camel's back.
Yeah.
And that's what happened. And with like fragile animals like Australian animals, it doesn't take much for shit to just go extinct. Like the Aboriginal Australians hunted Diprotodon, which is like a hippo-sized wombat. And they reckon they may have hunted them to extinction, and a lot of other like may have contributed to like Megalania's extinction, things like that. I mean, we don't know 100%, but
See, a wombat that big, what do wombats eat?
Grasses and
it's not very abundant here in Australia, is it?
So over east it is. Where wombats are found, they found
I guess Western Australia is dry as shit. I think all of Australia seems like...
Western Australia is dry as a nun's hand.
Yeah. Very dry hands, those nuns. I've shaken one
from like praying and touching Bibles and stuff gets very, very dry.
Yeah. Calloused.
Calloused, yeah. and yeah,
Yeah,
and yeah,
but there's parts of Australia that are very tropical,
super
wet,
right, super
very
green.
lush.
But for the most part, you look at WA, it's that big. Most of it's just desert.
Yeah.
But over east, like there's more. There's alpine areas and stuff like that. So yeah, wombats can do pretty well there. But fucking, I like a hippo-sized wombat wandering around. Jesus Christ!
I saw a wombat once
Yeah,
in the wild once.
wasn't it in snow? Who someone saw it in
So
snow?
it's when we school trip, Mount Hotham, whatever. Last night of the trip, and back in those days, show my age, didn't have a camera phone. We had disposable cameras, right? It's last night of the trip, so we're using up all our film because we're going to get them developed the next day or whatever.
Yeah.
Nothing interesting to take photos of. But as soon as we finished running out of all of our film, and there's these cameras that you had to wind and whatever, people know what cameras are. Someone rushed it. Oh, there's a wombat outside. There was this thing the size of this table in my memory. In my memory, it was the size of this table.
Yeah,
Just snuffling about underneath this like half staircase sort of area, snuffling about, grunting like insanely aggressive sounds.
yeah.
These sort of like deep, like it reminded me of a hippo.
Yeah.
It's fascinating. Like,
Yeah.
to imagine that you could have a bigger version of that.
Yeah, not just bigger, fucking huge, like the size of an SUV.
That's as close as I've got to a one. But that has to be in my memory. That's exaggerated at this big, because everything else that I see now, wombats like that chick recently that snatched that
moron.
baby and ran across the road. And like her whole Instagram is her just fucking with animals
Yeah.
for no reason.
Well, mine's kind of like that, but I'll never fucking take a Joey
No, you
wombat
made a
away.
career of it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no
You
shit.
say education.
Yeah, education.
She says influence. That's different.
Right. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, and that's a dog act. And but wombats get huge, man. Wombats get massive, like 40 kilos, 50 kilos. They're huge.
This one looked hundreds of kilos.
Yeah, maybe not that big.
Right,
but-
we have a friend that weighs 400 kilos.
Yeah.
It looked about his size.
Yeah. And a broad
But
back.
again, that's what memory is. You know, it's a
Yeah, it plays
unreliable tool that exaggerates things you want it to.
Yeah,
Right.
fucking oath. Absolutely. But they do get big. They do get big.
We ended with the thylacine.
Yeah.
Where do you, as a bonus question? It's not even.
But
a
there's
question,
no right or wrong
There's
answer.
no right or wrong answer. But where do you reckon the most likely place you would find one if they still existed? Because there has been a bunch of animals that we deemed extinct as humans
Yeah.
that we found again.
Yeah.
And like, wow, where did that come from?
Yeah.
Thylacine, there's all this footage and a lot of it sucks. And
It's
most of the time it's a fox.
yeah.
Most of the time it's a fox.
With mange.
Fox with mange, right? But even then, if you're looking through like the infrared or whatever cameras, it's not going to pick up on the fluff of their tail anyway. So it looks like they've got more of a stiff tail.
The hawks are a giveaway though, between a fox and a thylacine. And there's no foxes on Tasmania, too. So
Okay.
yeah. Allegedly, they yeah.
Where do you reckon you would go looking for one if you wanted to go find a thylacine?
Probably Papua New Guinea.
That's what I was.
Yeah.
That's what I've heard.
Well, yeah, because I mean that like Papua New Guinea is there are parts of that like still haven't been explored by white people, and there's even like some of the locals in certain areas will talk of the striped dog that they still see up in the mountains, and I mean, come on, I thought like what else could that be? You know?
Striped dog. Yeah.
Yeah, well, because they do have a species of canid on Papua New Guinea, the singing dog. It's basically their dingo.
Okay.
Dingoes may have probably come from them. And they're pretty rare as well, but they're not striped like a thylacine. So it's a pretty like...
And there is, I don't know the animals, but there is a substantial number of creatures that we thought were extinct that were found again in New Guinea.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
I mean, it's a hard place because like the politics over there are brutal.
Mm.
There's parts of Papua New Guinea that seem very, very friendly, very, very... but there's other parts you don't even want to sail around, right?
No, there's still...
As a sailor of what I follow, there's black areas on the map.
Yeah, I
Do
mean,
not
there's
sail through these
still
waters.
cannibalism in certain parts, apparently, and things like that, and tribal warfare you don't want to get caught in the middle of, and
Yeah.
a whole bunch of stuff that, you don't really want to get mixed up in. And they're the parts where, like, every now and again, scientists, they'll be let in, and it's like Burma, like Myanmar. Scientists have been banned from there for a long time. But when they go in there and actually are allowed to, they find so many new things, or things that they already knew existed and were thought extinct, but are still there.
They reconfirm it, yeah.
Yeah, but mainly those things are like the stuff they re-find, the Lazarus taxon, the Lazarus species. They're not big animals. They'll be like a tiny finch type thing or something like
so
that.
I haven't been stung by that bee in a long time.
No.
But,
yeah, and then you look at the coelacanth, the big fish, and it's like, well, it's a big fish. I'm like, yeah, but it lives in deep ocean, man. Like, it can go missing for a while.
It's one of those things, when it comes to animals that go extinct, it's like, it does happen all the time.
We lose dozens every day.
And it's the ones we care about. Let's face it, like, the panda bear is so ill-equipped to exist.
We made it ill-equipped to exist by destroying the bamboo forests. That's their primary food is bamboo, and when you get rid of the bamboo, that's why specialized animals that are super specialized are like the first to go. They're the main like candidates for extinction.
Too sensitive to environmental change.
Yeah, something that eats one thing, and that one thing, if it gets destroyed, you're fucked. It's
that's kind of on them.
Yeah, I mean, I guess their evolution didn't predict
see it coming.
this weird naked primate thing to come along and just destroy their
that's
restaurants.
What Dr. Carl says about evolution. It's not perfect. It's just good enough.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. It's perfect for some. Like,
yeah. Well, anyway, do you want the results?
Oh yeah, true.
You remember what you scored on the animal quiz? You got way better than I thought you would.
What was it out of 20?
You got 16 out of 20.
Oh, that's all right. That's a pass.
So recap, you got 1 for the first question. I knew that was a weird one. Right?
Yeah, that was a tough one.
Then you got 4 for the next one. You got straight out of the bat. What was that next one? You got the biofluorescence thing.
Yeah, yep.
Right? Then you got 3 points for the next one, which was the knuckle walk.
Yeah, but that was iffy though. That was
I can take off a point if you want.
Nah.
No. And then you got 4 and 4.
Sweet.
You got perfect for the next ones.
No, that's cool. That was great.
Yeah.
See, that's the thing. Like, I know a shitload about animals.
Yeah.
If you put 100 people in a room, I'll probably know more than 99 of them. But I'm not an animal expert.
I tried out this quiz on my wife, and had to let her know, like, I just want you to hear the questions and hear the clues. I don't expect you to get this. Yeah. So there's no way she would have got that, right?
Yeah, I mean...
Or any of these questions.
Yeah, a lot of them. Gee.
It's a good animal quiz.
It's a sick animal quiz, because I like the fact... Because all day, every day, what I'm doing is learning about animals and reading about animals. So if I get the opportunity to learn something, which is getting... Like, you will never run out of things to learn about animals, which is the good thing.
I know. And we've been talking about animals for 400 years together, basically.
Yeah.
And when I went to do this quiz, I learned a whole bunch. And I was like, shit, I have a feeling Adam already knows this, but let's try.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. This is your podcast. This is your little episode. So, if there are people that are out there that enjoy it and they think they've got a good topic for an animal quiz, like greatest predators or like ultimate winners or like least successful animals or whatever the topic is.
Who would win in a fight between this animal and that animal? Like, match. Break it down. Yes. Yeah.
So suggest your animal quiz topics and I'll start researching and I'll make a quiz about it.
Yeah, like,
and we'll
comment on, if you're on YouTube watching this, comment in the comments, like, topics and things like that. Or if you're listening on the podcast, you can comment on the bottom of the podcast as well. Or you can, like, email a question in, adam@biothorn.com.au, or reach out to me on social media.
biothorn.com.au.
Yeah.
Email directly to the quizmaster and make it a surprise for Adam.
Oh, fuck, I forgot about... Of course. Yeah, email Scott at biothorn.com.au, so I don't know shit about the question.
Yeah.
Because that's Like
Yeah,
even the
don't
even
tell
the,
Adam the question. He's got to
Don't tell
research.
me.
It's got to bug him if
Yeah, I
he
know,
doesn't know
'cause
the answer.
I'll
He's
not-
going to come in prepared. We
I'll,
can't do
I'll
that.
know the topic and be like, I need to learn everything about this.
Yeah, he's sneaky that way. Like we had a conversation the other day about knuckle walking, and I had to completely disguise the question because I wanted to confirm if he knew this one thing or whatever. Anyway, there's a lot going on. So,
And,
yeah,
yeah,
get
and
involved with it.
yeah, absolutely. And like what I like, if I mean, I want to do a shitload more of these because these are fun as all fuck. Like I love doing these. I love learning. I love doing them. So if you guys like this episode, let us know, and then we'll do them more. We'll do them more frequently. And Scott's got his work cut out for him, looking at bloody making questions.
I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying it.
Well, that's
I'm researching bullshit on YouTube anyway. I might as well research something that I'm actually going to use.
Yeah.
And then forget immediately because all these facts I'm going to forget immediately. But at least we got there.
Yeah,
And you did promise me you were going to have a big screen set up with the Thorn's logo in the background or something.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
So we just got this.
Yeah, somebody
That hand painted.
yeah, Salma, who was one of the guests on that come on our Nature Quest safaris.
Guys, go on the Nature Quest safaris.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm saving up to go myself.
Yeah, no discounts. Yeah, she made that. Yeah, hand painted and everything. It's the old logo, but it's still cool because it's like the OG logo of Thorn's Jungle.
I don't think I've seen the new one.
Oh, the new one's sick. Oh yeah, by the way, if you want a Thorn's Jungle shirt, buy thorn.com.au and get yourself some merch. The new Thorn's Jungle long sleeve or short sleeve shirt. Oh, and also, speaking of trips, we still got a few spots left on our South African hands-on conservation trip. I think we got like,
amazing.
oh, it's going to be insane.
If I was going to
man.
come on any of the Africa trips, it's this one.
Dude, you'll get hands-on with lion, rhino, and you're not just fucking with it. You're doing good for it. You're like,
Yeah.
like literally trimming the horn off a rhino is saving its life
Yeah.
because
and you have to
poacher.
triangle. So if you ever wanted to shoot a rhino but feel good about it,
Do you know what? I just
That's
discovered this is a thing, right? And it's good, but it's fucking pretty crazy. Like, it's called green hunting, where, no joke, hunters that want to go and shoot and kill an animal, but they maybe can't because the animal's protected or something, they will go out and tranquilize it and pretend that they're shooting to kill it, and then the rangers will come in and do their thing, do their work, and let it go. But they do it with bows. They bow hunt, green bow hunt, rhinos and shit, where they have the tranquilizer on the end of a bow and arrow, just so they can like get the feel of like
it's very
hunting
easy
it.
to miss with a bow and arrow.
Well, yeah,
Like a tranquil, like if that gets him right in the eye, he's kind of fucked up.
yeah. Can you imagine that? But I mean, I guess it's good, but it's still like fuck, that thing exists. Holy shit!
I'd love for one of those situations to occur where there's there's the animal, and then there's a group of arsehole tourists. Really, they're just trying to, and there happens to be one group this side, one group that side. They both miss and shoot each other.
Yeah,
that'd be sick. That'd be the most poetic justice in the world.
Yeah, it would. I mean, it happens. Poachers, not poachers, but like, yeah, big game hunters getting fucked up by shit. But I saw a photo of a rhino.
That happened to Dick Cheney that time.
Well, he shot it. Yeah, he did. Yeah. He shot one of the other dudes.
He mistook a guy for like a pigeon, and then
That's a big pheasant.
Yeah.
Poof. But yeah, I saw a photo of a rhino, and I thought it was dead. But there was like rangers all around. I was like, that's weird. And they're like posing, and dude's posing with his bow, and he's like, yeah, green hunted this. I was like, what the fuck is that?
Well,
but it was just sleeping.
We can't promote your trip coming up is a conservation trip. You're not going to be shooting the guns. So stop it, right?
No.
But
you're going to be there. You're going to be helping move the animals. You're going to be helping attach the collars.
You get to get bloody close with the rhino, though.
Oh, you'll be hands-on with the rhino because you need a lot of people to push it and tip it over.
Sam Neill on the Triceratops thing with the breathing, right?
That is, that's the main thing I'm looking forward to.
That'd be cool.
Yeah. But we need you to help roll it over and stuff like that. You'll have stuff to do, but it's not only like
to say that you actually helped lift a rhino is something I have never met anybody could say that. I don't know. That's a once in a lifetime thing.
Not many
right?
people can. And
everything you do on these trips is amazing. It blows my mind.
And to be honest, every trip,
my boring life.
Nah. Every trip we do is helping conservation in a certain way because of ecotourism and stuff. But this time, you're getting hands on with it, and you get to do it yourself, like directly contribute to it, and as well. You get to do cool safaris as well. You're not going to be working, like you're going to be doing 6 safaris and stuff as well. So it's a good combination. So if you want to come, hit me up. We only got a couple spots left.
They're not going to be working. They never crossed my mind. It's like, oh yeah, we get to tranquilize some rhinos and help them out,
Shit.
and you get to help the keepers shovel shit.
Yeah,
And,
exactly.
like, You might get to make lunch for everybody.
Change
It's
some
like,
tires.
this doesn't sound good at all.
I just paid nearly $6,000 to bloody
Yeah.
come and fucking be an indentured servant. That'd be hell funny.
That's something to think about. You can give people a discounted rate if they're willing to.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No.
They might save $10.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Make your own food.
Anyway, we'll do this again. Like, I love writing
yeah.
these quizzes. It's been a fun time. So I'm happy to do one a month or whatever the people want. And remember, let me know what topics.
Yeah, start sending some money and stuff, and then we'll do it more. Like that. Like realistically, hey, I'm just being honest. If you want to see more and hear more,
Give me some money.
All right.
Anyway, cool.
I think we're done, eh?
Yeah, absolutely. You can go out and have your.
Thanks for having
have
me,
a
man.
smoke.
This is fun.
Thanking me.
Oh, it's your podcast.
He
man.
come
It's
up with it. He come up with it and wrote the quizzes and stuff and set up all this. I'll never know how to do that. So like, I'm happy for it. Fucking.
And I went out of my way to wear this loud shirt, which has its own animal connections on it.
Yeah.
It's forest floor.
Yeah.
It's a forest floor shirt.
If you can't, if you're not watching, it's a shirt that's covered in forest dwelling organisms.
Yeah, I've got snakes, I've got mushrooms, I've got squirrels and flowers and other sort of stuff. It's either it's connected by being the forest floor or he takes drugs.
Yeah, it's hell psychedelic. If somebody on acid looked at that shirt, it would look like a plain blue shirt.
I'd never look away.
It would just look normal to them because it's already psychedelic enough. You can't get any more.
It would. It's psychedelic camo.
Yeah. Just a floating
They just
head.
wouldn't even see my torso if they scanned across.
It's turned into John Cena.
All right, cool.
All right, guys. Hope you had a good time, and I'll see you on the next episode of Thorn's Jungle. Take care.